Hello viewers, my name is Mr. Kazim and I am delighted to welcome you to my YouTube channel at Smart Edu TV. Here you will find detailed tutorials on your science courses and tips on how to answer examination questions successfully. I started this channel to also share my knowledge and experience in this field and to give you tips on how to succeed as a university student. If you are looking for detailed tutorials on physics subjects, chemistry, mathematics, biology, statistics, and general studies (GST), then you have come to the right channel. So therefore, sit back, relax, and join me on this journey. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to never miss on an important update. Please remember to also share this video so that others can benefit. Thank you very much. Hello viewers, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we shall be looking at algebra and trigonometry, and the topic for discussion is complex numbers. What are complex numbers? Complex numbers are numbers that contains two parts. They are numbers that contains two parts. The first part is called the real part, while the second part is called imaginary part. The real part and imaginary part. So these are the composition of a complex number. It contains two numbers, the real part and the imaginary part. For example, if I have, let's say, z equals x plus iy. Z equals x plus iy. In this expression, the real part is the part containing x. X represents the real part of that complex number, while the coefficient of I, that is this y, is the imaginary part. The real part is x and the imaginary part is y. These are the composition of complex number. After understanding this, the next thing we look at is algebra of complex number. How do we evaluate complex number in terms of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division? And the first we are going to look at is addition. How do we add complex numbers together? For example, if let's say w equals 5 minus 6i. If w equals 5 plus 6i and k equals 3 plus 2i and k equals 3 plus 2i. Evaluate. If you have to evaluate w plus k, it means I want to add w together with k. This will give me my w is 5 plus 6i plus my k is 3 plus 2i. Adding the two of them together, it simply means that I'm going to add them in such a way that the real numbers, the real parts, we add each other, and the imaginary part we also add each other. For what? W, the real part is 5, the imaginary part is 6. For k, the real part is 3, and the imaginary part is 2. For me to add them together, it simply means I'm going to add the real part of w together with the real part of k, that is 5 plus 3, which will give me 8. Plus, for me to add the imaginary part of w is 6, while the imaginary part of k is 2. 6 plus 2 will give us 8. So plus 8i. So the result of this addition gives us 8 plus 8i. The real part of the result is 8, and also the imaginary part of the result is 8. This is how we add complex number. Example 2. In terms of subtraction, how do we subtract complex number? In terms of subtraction, if A is defined as 9 plus 7i and B is defined as 4 minus 2i. I want to evaluate A minus B. Find A minus B. It means that what? I want to what? Find the result of A minus B. I want to subtract B from A. It means my A is 9 plus 7i minus, what is my B? My B is 4 minus 2i. Please take note of this. The minus is affecting the whole of B. That is why it is essential and important to open up a bracket immediately afterwards, negative, to show that the minus is affecting everything inside the bracket. If I don't open up the bracket, the minus will only be affecting the first number here, which is 4. In that case, I will be very wrong. But for me to show that the whole of B is what? Having negative, it means it is advisable for me to open up bracket so that the minus is going to affect everything inside the bracket. Evaluating this, let's open up the bracket. This will give us 9 plus 7i minus, and this becomes what? Minus 4. Minus and minus becomes what? Plus 2i. 9 plus 7i minus 4 plus 2i. Now I have what? Some numbers in terms of real number and some numbers in terms of what? Imaginary number. I'm going to what? Collect like terms so that real go with real and imaginary goes with imaginary. This will give us, the result will give us 9 minus 4 for the real part, 9 minus 4 for the real part, and for the imaginary part we have what? Plus 7i and what? Plus 2i, which will give us, at the end of the day, 9 minus 4 gives us 5. 5 plus 7 plus 2 gives us what? 9i. The result is 5 plus 9i. The real part is 5, while the imaginary part is 9. This is how we what? Evaluate complex number. We've seen how we do it in terms of addition and also how we do it in terms of what? Subtraction. Understand the concept of conjugates. Division of what? Complex number. For instance, if z equals a plus ib, if z is defined as a plus ib, the conjugate of z written as z bar, the conjugate of z denoted by what? Z bar simply means I should what? Interchange the sign. If it is plus, I change it to minus. If it is minus, I change to what? Plus. This is plus. For me to find its conjugate, I will change that to minus. Becomes a minus ib. The conjugate of a plus ib becomes a minus ib. It is this concept of conjugate we use to evaluate the division of complex number. What we actually do is to multiply both numerator and denominator by its complex conjugate. For instance, let's evaluate this. For example, simplify 4 plus 7i over 2 plus 5i. Simplify 4 plus 7i over 2 plus 5y in the form x plus iy. It means they want you to separate them in such a way that the real part stay alone and the imaginary part also what? Stay alone. I want to what? Evaluate this division in the form x plus iy. This is an example of division of complex number. How How do I evaluate this? For me to evaluate this, I must multiply the numerator and the denominator by its complex conjugate. The complex conjugate of the denominator. This is 2 plus 5i. Its complex conjugate to be what? 2 minus 5i. So that I can multiply both the numerator and the denominator by 2 minus 5i. This gives 4 plus 7i over 2 plus 5i multiplying 2 minus 5i divided by what? 2 minus 5i. So I want to multiply these together. The upper side, let's start with this. This multiplying this and also this multiplying this. From the upper side, 4 what to what? Multiply 2. What are we going to have? 4 times 2 gives us what? 8. Also, 4 times minus 5i gives what? Minus 20i. The other side, 7 multiplying 2. 7i times 2 gives us what? 14i. Plus 14i. And the last one, plus 7 multiplying minus 5. Plus times minus gives what? Minus 7 times 5 gives 35. I times I gives I squared. But I squared equals minus 1. That minus cancels this minus to become what? Plus. So that 7 times 5 becomes what? 35. Because of that minus becomes what? Positive 35. Positive 35. Divided by, let's see what we have under. 2 multiplying 2 gives what? 4. Also, 2 multiplying minus 5i gives what? Minus 10i. Also, plus 5i multiplying 2 gives what? Plus 10i. It gives plus 10i. And also, plus 5i multiplying minus 5i. Plus times minus first give minus. 5 times 5 gives what? 25. I times another I gives what? I squared. I squared equals minus 1. That minus affects this minus. So that this becomes what? Plus. Then it was positive 25. So if I want to evaluate this, this will give me, I have what? 8 minus 2i plus 14i plus 35. Combine them in such a way that collect what? Like terms. The real part add each other and the imaginary part also add what? Each other. I'm having 35 plus 8. 35 plus 8 will give us 43. 43. Also, minus 2i plus 14i. I'm owing 2i. I'm having 14i. At the end of the day, I'm going to be having what? 12i. I'm going to be having what? 12i. Divided by, let's see what happens under. Divided by, what is 4 minus 10i? Minus 10i plus 10i, they are gone. Minus 10i plus 10i, they are gone. And that is what? 4 plus 25, which is what? 29. So I'm having what? 43 plus 12i over what? 29. Which can be separated as, since I'm having 43 plus 12i divided by what? 29. I can separate this. Both of them are affected by what? 29. That is 43 over 29. And also for the imaginary part, I'm going to have 12 over what? 29. Then the other one, I have what? I into what? 12 over what? 29. Or 12 over 29i. Or 12 over 29i. They mean the same what? The same thing. So this is now the final result in form of what? X plus iy.